I woke up this morning staring at the ceiling in complete silence. My body refused to move as if it remembered the exhaustion that my mind tried to ignore. The alarm went off at 5:30 a.m., but I still felt trapped in yesterday. My eyes were swollen, and my back ached, as if I had not slept at all. My first thought was that I could not survive another day of this life, yet I knew I had no choice. The weight of obligation pressed on me before I even stood up. Even when I am exhausted, I have to look composed, with foundation and eyeliner covering the fatigue. In Japan, a tired face can become a topic of discussion before work even begins. I force myself to create a version of me that looks awake and put together. It feels like performing someone I no longer recognize just to survive the workday. I rush out the door half-conscious and step into the crowded shoreline. The train is already suffocating with bodies pressed too close to breathe comfortably. I cannot lift my arms or even shift my weight. I simply stand still and endure the silent pressure of strangers surrounding me on every side. And what hurts most is knowing my actual workday has not even started yet. I am already tired before I even reach the office. I work in office administration, and people often assume it means simple tasks. In reality, the morning hits hard with urgent requests waiting before I sit down. I prepare meeting materials that appear out of nowhere at the last minute. I coordinate schedules for managers who barely communicate their plans. I also respond to client emails that pop up right before 9 a.m. as if on cue. The pressure begins the second I touch my keyboard. Then comes the moment every woman in a Japanese office quietly understands. A senior male manager looks at me and asks me to serve tea for guests because I supposedly do it better. Younger male staff stand right beside him, but they are never asked. Somehow the task always finds its way to me as if it is naturally my role. It becomes a familiar reminder of the gendered expectations that linger beneath the surface. No one questions it, and I learn not to either. During meetings, I try to share ideas about improving our workflow. But each time I begin to speak, someone cuts in smoothly, as if my voice is optional. It is not loud or rude, but it is dismissive in a way that drains you quietly. Being physically present yet socially invisible becomes a daily experience. I smile politely, while feeling the sting of being unheard. It is a painful balance between professionalism and erasure. The official workday ends at 6 p.m., but no one leaves at that time. At 6:05, everyone pretends to look busy as if leaving early is a forbidden act. By 6:30, managers walk through the office again, glancing at our desks. Their silent presence keeps us anchored in our seats. I stay even when I finish all my tasks, because leaving early feels dangerous. Reputation matters more than actual productivity, so I fill my time with work that barely matters just to stay longer. I file documents that will never be touched again. I reorganize spreadsheets for the sake of appearance. Sometimes I rewrite entire reports simply because a senior dislikes a font. All of this work is unpaid but silently expected. It becomes normal to trade hours of your life for nothing. By 9:30 p.m., my legs are numb and my shoulders feel painfully tight. A sharp headache digs behind my eyes as if trying to escape my skull. The office lights feel colder with each hour that passes. I feel myself shrinking under their harsh brightness. When I finally leave the office, my body feels heavier than my bag. I walk out with exhaustion that words cannot fully express. The street outside is almost quiet. Shops are closing, and even the convenience store staff look more awake than I am. On the train home, I stare at my reflection in the window. I barely recognize the woman looking back at me. I used to love cooking, reading, and taking walks. Those pieces of my life have faded into distant memories. Now I drop my bag on the floor and collapse onto my futon the moment I get home. I have no energy left for anything else. Skincare, dinner, and hobbies all disappear into the background. Work consumes everything until nothing remains but survival. The loneliness hits hardest at night. It is not the loneliness of being physically alone, but of losing yourself slowly. Each day, another small part of me fades into the demands of my job. I fall asleep knowing tomorrow will repeat the same pattern. I often wonder if a job is worth losing who you are. The paycheck and stability start to feel meaningless against the cost. For women in Japan, whether foreign or local, the pressure doubles. We are expected to endure quietly and carry the weight with a smile. If you feel the same exhaustion or emptiness, please share your experience in the comments. Your voice might help others who feel invisible in their own lives. I want to share how I finally quit that company, because someone might need this. I submitted my resignation 2 weeks in advance, which is the legal minimum. Most companies expect 1 month, but I followed the law and took my stand. I used all my remaining paid leave, even though my manager disliked it. It was one of my first steps toward reclaiming my time. It felt rebellious and liberating at the same moment. After resigning, I handled the necessary paperwork. I switched to national health insurance and updated my national pension. I informed immigration about my employment change as an expat. I collected my tax certificate for my next job opportunity. The paperwork was overwhelming, but I felt a strange sense of freedom. It was the beginning of rebuilding my life with my own hands. I took my first real break in years. I allowed myself to rest without guilt for the first time in so long. I explored new career paths, including remote work and different industries. I chose roles that did not suffocate me. Quitting did not magically fix everything, but it gave me something precious. It gave me the chance to rediscover myself,